Hey folks, and welcome to part 9 of our Shattered Let's Play. Last episode we got done with the second temple, the Kotar Fortress. We also killed the third, I believe, Cardinal King, Yizod. And only when I was rewatching the video did I really make the connection that the mini bosses that we've been killing in the Cardinal Nexus are in fact the same that were mentioned in that one lore script that explained who the Cardinal Kings are, and Yezod was actually one of them. Eventually we made our way to this Tawny Hawk playground that is on the way to the third temple. This part seems painfully difficult. And depending on how many attempts it takes me, I might just cut most of the unsuccessful attempts. The problem is that you need to boost your mount to make most of these jumps. And mount is already difficult to control without the boost. I almost made it. Nope. Can we salvage this? No. The mount is already very difficult to control, and requiring you to rotate while you're boosting to make some of these jumps is questionable. The first one is not too terrible because it's fairly straightforward. The second one is extremely annoying. And I imagine there's many more. Definitely not my favorite part. And one thing I've noticed that a lot of... I'm just gonna get off the mount because it's very difficult to control. Something I've noticed about some of the less successful indie games is that they're not very good at identifying which of their mechanics are well implemented and which are not. And as a result, they often put a spotlight on the bad mechanics. This is one of them. If it's an indie game, I don't expect every mechanic to be perfect. There's going to be a lot of flaws. But you need to be able to identify those, and hopefully early on and try to make them this is just try to make them as invisible as possible. Putting this port in the game is doing the exact opposite. Now, obviously, I've been abusing the trick of being able to dismount and jump in midair. I cannot possibly imagine how else you can do this. We might have dismounted too early. No. Okay. And this part is unnecessarily long. The good thing is, it seems that you don't need a lot of running ground or running distance to get the full velocity. We definitely dismounted too early. Alright, well, we'll cut here. And I'll try to make it back here, or maybe... Yeah, we'll just make it back there and we'll continue the video from there. Right, we are back here. And fortunately, when you spawn the mount, it's clipping through the ground. So you have to look down and spawn it. But a good trick, it seems, is that to just keep walking through the majority of these segments, and then at the very end, summon them out, write it, orient yourself so that you're facing the next segment, boost, make sure you cover enough distance, and then dismount, double jump, and dash. The runways are much too narrow for the controls. Seems that we're done though, with the jumping at least. But I don't feel comfortable enough to ride them out, even though it would make this section shorter. But I would rather not waste all the effort. Or risk it, at least. It is a nice scenery from up here. You get to see all the different environments and shapes that this game has. And I'm hoping there is a well soon. Three items here. Gigantic essence. Three gigantic essences. This elevator takes us down. It seems we can keep going forward. There is a Durga temple. I think there is an NPC at the very end of this, and I wonder if it's the one with the wings. Meiosa's North. Um... Sure. Let's see what's up there. No map in here. And I can see a well. I believe it's being covered by the UI now, but yep, it's all the way over there. Oh no. We have to do the Tony Hawk part again. There really should have been a checkpoint after it. Alright, guess we'll cut the video again, and instead of going to Mios's north this time, we'll check what's on the left. Maybe there is another checkpoint. And we're back. And as I mentioned, we will be making our way through this path. Because quite frankly, I don't know what Mios's north is. Interestingly, oh, it seems it might be the Durga temple. Alright, well, before we go to it again, I would rather have a well and a checkpoint after that part. Because while it's not necessarily difficult, it requires a lot of effort and focus. So let's see if there is a well anywhere nearby. There isn't, but this one should unlock a shortcut. Not quite sure where. Have we been here before? This should lead to the very beginning of Ancient Lands, right? I think this one leads... Yeah, this one definitely leads back to over there, which is the beginning. So we'll just take these portals back. I forgot which one it actually was. Was it this one? No. So it's probably this one. Yep. Awesome. At least that means we don't have to go through the Tony Hawk part again. We'll drop down here. There really should be a well around this part, though. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense not to have one. believe we are nearing Devish. Fairly close to it. Let's check what this thing is. Gonna be honest, I am mainly checking it to see if there is a well. Because as I mentioned, exploration has been very underwhelming in this game so far. And while the places do look cool from a distance, and even when you get close to them, the designs are cool, there's just no motivation to explore any of them. Because the best you can hope for is some essence. Or outposts. It seems that Devish is right over there. And let's activate this portal before we actually move towards it. And there's a well. Awesome. Not the closest thing to the Durga temple. I'm assuming the Durga temple will have the third and final core. Oh, and there is in fact a portal to the hub here. We only have 20.5k essence. I think that might be enough for a level, maybe two. So we're not gonna bother. I guess we can use some of the essence items, especially since we got gigantic essence. But odds are there will be another portal inside of the third temple. We can just take that one. And this door seems big enough to make you think that the entrance to Devish Temple is right over here. Another Praetorian Guard. Whoa! That was a long jump. Can we just walk through here? No. Can we interact with this? Oh, we can't mount up. I guess let's just try to kill the guard. Maybe you need to kill it at least once. Okay, maybe give me some heads up. Extremely weak. Drops nothing. But maybe, just maybe. We can interact with the door now. Doesn't seem like it. Whoops. Did not mean to do that. Let's see if the path is in fact this way. Looks like this might be Devish. Looking at the map, it's very difficult to see your direction. We're actually looking the opposite direction away from it. So... looks like it's this direction. It is very difficult to see where we're facing. Not sure what this is. Seems to be there are some lore items. So you know what? Let's Tony Hawk across if we can make it. No, doesn't seem like it. But at least we don't take fall damage while we're on our hoverboard, I guess. Oh. Okay. Maybe we can cheese the geometry? No. I am at a loss, to be honest. The last thing I can think of is maybe we do in fact need to clear the Durga temple. It would make sense to require us to kill all the cardinal kings before we move to what I believe is the final temple, or at least the third temple. Mask and a shard. And a sigil of the arcane. I have no idea what this is. I do not know what this is. Alright, well, let's jump to our demise here so that we can respawn at the last checkpoint, which was fairly close to the Durga temple. And while we're at it, I will be back in a little bit. And we are back. Um, you're gonna notice that I'm in a different area. I am in the North Meiosis. Decided to not include this part as I got to the checkpoint because there were a lot of bugs and a lot of shortcuts I couldn't take. The portals that we previously activated became deactive again, or inactive rather. Not much I did though. Right where I'm staring at is the entrance, and this is the checkpoint that I failed to get in when we first visited this area. So the way you don't actually need to jump onto that little ledge, you can just go around the back right where that enemy is and drop down and then come back here. So we're gonna continue through this temple. I like the design of it. I really like the design of a lot of places in this game. And I do feel the art carries the game a lot. Health potion and mana potion. Ebonite. Hmm. Guess eventually we're gonna make our way to that place over there. But yeah, the reason I came back here is because again okay. We tried the we tried that big gate and we couldn't interact with it. So I figured maybe we need to clear this area. And if you remember, the first temple to this, a red sphere was in it. We talked to it and it disappeared. It was not in the second temple. So let's see what it's got to say this time. You learn nothing. Your mistakes are repeated to infinity, ever identical. They take away all that is inferior. For who could ever protect against your science, your industry, all this frenzied business? The universe does not belong to you. Oh, of course. And my god, can you please just. It is very easy to get stuck in this game. And it really shows a massive lack in QA. I don't even know why the strange sphere has to explode. Like, okay, just disappear. You don't need to explode. A lot of things are unnecessary. They add absolutely nothing. Also, why my items keep reverting back to the mount? But yeah, a lot of things are just completely unnecessary and they add more issues to the game than the artistic vision they bring along with them. For example, the Tony Hawk part just was absolute trash. It served no purpose whatsoever other than just padding the game. It's not a skill that you need in the rest of the game. The only time you ever need to learn how to navigate your mount with such accuracy. Oh my. Such accuracy is in that section alone. And I guess we have to time our jumps perfectly in here. I've always maintained this belief that if you're gonna add something unnecessary, then make sure it fits in with the rest of the game. A lot of games like to add small interactions. They can also be story related, not just gameplay related. But they bring more questions with them than they answer. Okay, so this is where the sphere was. We can continue that way, but I do wonder what's... Oh! Okay, there's a checkpoint. As well as a portal. I was wondering why there was no portal so far. So we will take the portal back. I don't believe we can get a lot of upgrades. I don't remember ever picking a catalyst charge or Promethean artifact. Or rather, Promethean component, I think. We also are unable to upgrade our weapon. I don't think there is much to do, but let's just check on the NPCs, spend our essence, and get whatever points we can get. Oh, interestingly enough, we can buy the higher level Hardenites. Yep, there's nothing to do. So let's just use all the essence. And I believe we also got 3 gigantic essence items. Heroic essence, I don't believe we ever used that one either. Doesn't seem to be a key item. Right? Uh, our damage is pretty good. Let's just put 1 point into it. And then 2 points into vitality. And my apologies if you can hear the sirens outside. And we'll make it back to the temple. Seems that this is a shortcut that we will unlock. Lots of paths here, and I just want to double check that we didn't miss any other path, because I feel like we may have. Is there anything over here? There indeed is. There's an item. We'll pick it up. Radiant Essence. Make our way over here. Nothing below us. We have to get to a higher area. Yep. Is there anything over here? Oh, no, no. There's a dead wanderer over there. We are level 44. I just wanted to check what level we are. Seems fairly low. Another check. Maybe this was the way, but the other path seemed like it had a lot more space. And I figured that would be the path to the rest of the dungeon. That's why I came over here thinking this is probably a dead end. No, we cannot climb this. No problem. We'll just run back. Nothing this way. Is this a cardinal nexus? Yes, it is. Perfect. So we're probably going to be killing the last cardinal lord, king, something like that. Not cardinal, no. That was a different word. But it's more or less the same idea. Kether. He is way tankier than the others. Okay, I have no idea how that hit me. Okay. Seems the damage is much higher. Okay, okay, the audio is like right in my ears. Actually, I just realized I think the game hasn't been, or OBS has not been recording audio. So let me restart the recording as well as the game. My apologies for that. Alright, the audio should be fixed now. Not sure why it wasn't recording the audio. But now you can hear the quote-unquote whispers. And again, it keeps changing the item. Back to the mount. Still not getting used to his pattern. Okay. He attacks a bit too fast. So it's not really not really a reaction to his attacks, but rather a prediction. So far it feels like wait for him to attack once, dodge sideways, and attack once seems to be the optimal strategy. Except that the hit doesn't register for some reason. And the other attack is almost instant. There's very little time to do anything between those two attacks. I got greedy. those attacks are just way too quick after another. It's ridiculous. Not a terribly difficult fight, it's just very annoying. There's almost no time whatsoever to weave in attacks in between. This is another weapon. We're not gonna read it because we already know what it says. Segment of the crucible, and we are going to remove again. So this is the third one. And it definitely seems intentional that each core is in a different temple than the one that it corresponds to. And of course, Yak will have something smart-assy to say. Great, 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 great.
You know what? I will let you be, since you refuse to listen to me anyway. If you have decided to be stubborn, so be it. I have other ferns to fry, and a long life to live.
Then shut up. Or maybe not, but whatever. Sort things out yourself. It was fun while it lasted. Okay. Oh, I thought he would actually just like straight up disappear. I wonder if this is enough to open the gate, or if we need to keep going through the temple. I will be back in a bit. Alright, well, odds are we can probably open the door that leads to Devish, but let's see where the other path leads to. Because I was under the impression that we're gonna see the stranger again, and odds are we will. Probably before we enter Devish, maybe at the end of it, I don't really know. But it would be cool if we can actually meet him again in this temple. We also might be able to continue some of the NPC quests. Pretty sure we've messed up some of them, but hey. We'll take what we can get. And again, as you can see, the consumable item, or the item, goes back to the mount for some reason. I don't understand why. I don't think I can even use the mount inside the temple. So there's a right side as well as a left side. Let's go to the right first. All of a sudden, it seems that our damage is no longer high enough. Because I believe we were two-shotting enemies before. So we might need to invest some more points into strength. And if we're lucky, we can just backstab all of these enemies one by one. just no indication on when you can backstab or not. It's not the most intuitive system out there. Whoa, almost fell down there. So this is one of those things that opens a door. Did we ever come? Oh yeah, there's that door over there. There are 5 of these. Okay. I don't fully understand. I mean, is there another demiurge in here? I really don't understand what this place is. We can see another one down there, but let's activate this one first. So that's 2, and we know where the third one is. We just need 2 more. Oh wait, that was not. I think I saw one of these and I thought it was a switch. I don't know if we can make this jump. Yep, we can. Awesome. Is this a wall? Yep. I don't believe we can make this jump. I'm gonna guess the ground is not actually ground and you just die if you jump down. So I'm not gonna risk it. The question is whether all the switches are in this area. Because the other area, I mean, we went through it. We would have easily noticed a switch if there was one. Oh, this is the third. So we need 2 more. Wonder if you can actually make it up there. Well. Oh my lord. Just please fix your geometry. It's astounding how often you can just get stuck. Because what you want to do when you're doing a level design is that you want to create small artifacts. So, you know, a box, for example, a chair, etc. In this case, it's a pillar. And you want to make sure that you can't get stuck inside any one of these. And then you put the level together, and then you want to make sure you can't get stuck inside or between the objects. So the very fact that we can get stuck on one object just screams bad level design to me. And having to quit the game, reload, and re-clear all the enemies again just because of that is very frustrating. Seems there is a checkpoint up there. Wait, that's a reflection, so the checkpoint should be up there? If I'm seeing that correctly? Which would mean that you can, in fact, get up there somehow. Yeah, there's even an item. So how do we make it up there? Let's just get rid of this guy, because he's very annoying. Oh, there's a checkpoint over there. You're doing a drop down attack. You don't stun the player longer than you stun the enemy. You don't do that. So I'm doing a jump down attack on an unsuspecting enemy. An attack that should by all means give me the advantage. I'm not gonna activate this because we would have to re-clear the enemies. But it's an attack that should give me an advantage, but it's not giving me an advantage. It doesn't even do that much damage. Well, let's hope we don't get stuck again. Just like we have in this game about 100 times so far. I honestly have no idea where we need to go. I really want to activate the checkpoint, but I don't want to have to kill all the enemies again. Oh well. Think I don't know if every Dark Souls game does that, but I know at least one of them does, where you can interact with the bonfire, in this case the well, and it would simply unlock it. And if you die, you respawn at it. But it doesn't immediately heal you, and it doesn't immediately respawn all the enemies. I feel like every single Souls game, or Souls-like game, should do that. So there's a way down there, and we cannot climb up here. Yeah, it seems there's a switch over there. That would be the fourth one. So this was the way to go. There's a lore item in the back. So we just need one more switch, and we can open the door. And while we're at it, let's read the lore item. We are going too fast. We keep moving forward as if gravity was on the verge of swallowing us. As if we had to master the galaxy before it was too late. Yet, we have fought all our wars. We have defeated all our enemies. The ones from elsewhere will never come back. The Mad Priest and his tie-ins will never come back. The Krishan and the Herd will never come back. We know this for certain. This industrial race is senseless. We are being devoured by the Five's insatiable scientific curiosity. Sile, Medark Volnir student. Alright. So we'll go this way. Hope that we stumble upon the last switch. Seems like it's probably gonna be in here. Lore item over there. I don't know what this is. And the switch is also over there, so... Oh, this is an NPC. What on earth is this? Oh, Bhakti.
Friend, do you recall our talk? I remember now. Ah, I'm so overjoyed that I forget the most basic of manners. How are you?
Let's give her a thumbs up.
Oh, I'm glad. At least know your progress has been impressive. I sometimes wish I could take up arms and follow you. But I would not fit in. Would most likely get bored. What? Anyway, let me resume my story. The Apocryphals. That was the name Yantra and his allies chose for themselves. He had the greatest at his side. No the Empty, Quindolos the Illusory, Medark Volnir, and even the mysterious Geodists. They commanded such great respect that the news of their descent was a huge shock. Had they gone mad? How could these great figures, some of them closely tied to the Five and Hypnos, have any reason to rebel, especially in a time of peace? I asked this same question 1,000 times, friend. I now remember the sleepless nights, the torture of pondering the idea of betraying my guides, and ultimately, possibility of open armed conflict. Yet some of the things they said seemed right. It seemed true. We were being pushed to research, to experiment on ourselves with war-oriented mutations, to build space travel ships, some of them meant for destruction, while in times of absolute and unthreatened peace. I joined them because I wanted answers. Geneticist Raz Samra helped Yantra discover our masters' objectives and their terrible conspiracy. He uncovered... His accusations were never proven right. You know that as well as I do.
This is the first time that Yak actually speaks to someone who is not us. And, again, Yak interrupting Bhakti as she was about to tell us something. Yak is not a good guy.
In the end, all he hungered for was blood and power. We lost so much by following him. True. I cannot remember if we ever got any proof, but he seemed so sure.
Okay. Well, not that we needed any more proof that Yak is a bad character, but this confirms it even more. And there's a shortcut over here. So let's unlock it. Jump down. Jump up. I'll probably just like jump and then jump off, much like the elevators in Dark Souls and Bloodborne and all of that. 3 Hardenites. I think the only thing we need is Sentient now. That is a big X. Oh, well, don't mind me. Cool. This opens the door. Let's kill these guys before we read the lore. Alright, the balancing is all over the place. These guys die so fast. Compared, and these are, you know, supposed to be the more difficult enemies. Sigil of the Stars, we never really found the need to use those. The holographic light reflected on his alabaster skin. I could still hear the distant melody of the artists playing a symphony in the agora, half conscious, intoxicated by the bewildering presence of the hero before me. His powerful Midarkiel hands caught my hips and pushed me against the metal. His fingers traveled through my hair as I grabbed his throat with the belligerence I had learned in his own training camps. Our breathless rattles and voracious wrestling turned days into nights as we melded into one, until our exhausted bodies were forced to stop, leading to what felt like rebirth. That's one way to describe the process, I guess. Where was it? That is the door. Okay, perfect. We'll just jump down. Hopefully there is a well after this. Doesn't seem like it. Alright, so something's happening with the geometry. I don't know if it's an issue with loading it, but seems when I turn the camera towards it, it suddenly changes. I don't know if it's a loading issue or if it's an intended design issue. Ooh, there be a checkpoint. Let's activate it and see if there's. Seems that that's usually the places that have lore in them. So I don't think we're gonna be fighting a boss. Probably just read some 3 lore pieces or whatever. Yeah, yeah. It's very similar to that one place. Do we even have enough Evenite fragments? We have 4, okay. So we can read them all. Perfect. Memorum of an apocryphal geodist. Geodicist? Sounds like someone who's got something against people who study the earth. I believe there are in the academic circles fundamental questions that remain rarely asked. I do not discount the possibility of a form of censorship beyond holy reverence. My research has brought forward but rare instances of non-poetic doubt or questioning regarding the ancient truth. Our scientific knowledge grows at incredible speeds in every area, and yet a quick survey is enough for me to question certain paradigms. It is said in our holy texts that Hypnos the Uncreated made the world in a gesture, initiating the causal mechanisms that led to our birth and evolution. I may not be casting doubt upon the king and Prometheans' parenthood towards us, but I am suggesting we might be giving undue credit to false certitudes. Regarding the universe, the cosmodicists have long since dated its birth to 9.8 billion years ago. We can imagine that its long structuring process, carefully overseen by Hypnos and the Prometheans as to be ready to welcome life, is something we cannot possibly comprehend. However, according to late geodesists Henoch R. Koth, the mineral composition and primal engraving found in Narayana would date the city to just 3,000 years, when our liturgy claims it was built soon after creation. Even if we consider the possibility of miscalculation, which would be surprising coming from a Medarch, I am surprised by the lack of serious studies that would counter such claims on a scientific basis rather than religious. Memorum of Selim R. Koth. What's interesting is the dates and the entire idea. It's kind of like Christianity versus the idea of evolution, where the scientific evolution says that the universe was created billions of years ago, while I don't want to say Christianity, but most religions would claim that life started a few thousand years ago. So I guess they're going with that angle. Let's stop to reflect. Noah, the Apocryphals Memorum. Let's stop to reflect on a paradox brought to light by recent history and its numerous tragedies. The Last War, during which we triumphed over the Shan Empire at the cost of many lives and much destruction, was one of our greatest obstacles the Astir have one of the greatest obstacles the Astir have ever faced. One could understand why the duelists stand in favor of this vile, cruel, dictatorial, torturing, and exploitative race. More adjectives could be added, all demonstrating the emergence of absolute evil. Primordial, even. With hindsight, they could be grouped together with those who once drove us against the ones from elsewhere, the outsiders. Cursed be their name, although our records are slim on the subject. In conclusion, if the universe is filled with many species that demonstrate aggressive instincts towards us and would annihilate us for millennia, should we not link their existence, as we do with everything that ever was, is, and will be, to the king's wishes? If we accept this as true, we may then question whether his kindness is absolute. This exact argument is used a lot in theology and, I guess, anti-theology. How could a merciful and benevolent God wish or allow for such calamities to befall his children, except to test us under some terrifyingly cynical kind of logic? If it is false, then his power is not absolute, and the universe and its darkness is not his sole creation. This would mean that our wise men and holy texts have long made use of a consecrated lie that we must deconstruct if we hope to survive. We are facing the threat of terrible forces of unknown numbers that lay hidden in dark corners of time and space. It is clear that these forces could one day overwhelm our courage and science, but it seems even more evident that we have been governed by mystical tyrants and a false god that would keep us prisoners of their terrible obscurantism. It's very interesting that his name is Noah. And the last one, why can't we interact with it? Okay. Prohibited Apocryphal Memorum. I have discovered something, although I do not know if my mind can handle such knowledge or if I am already doomed to inescapable madness. I feel myself slipping, as if the entire planet was crumbling under my feet, ready to drop me down into the infinite chasm of the void. I am losing my senses. This memorum shall be my last. Down the farthest depths of the network, there are antique sectors, hiding in numeric darkness no one is meant to explore. The only way to get there is through the use of a cardinal key, and I shall overcome the challenges and pains that were necessary for me to acquire this artifact. Those mean nothing in comparison to the metaphysical terror I find myself facing now. I shall overcome these visions of vertiginous digital temples, of non-Euclidean fortresses and set within other structures that would shatter the boundaries of anyone's imagination. Endless libraries and archives sheltering the knowledge of millennia, of lost civilizations, of future existence. Their barbaric and impious knowledge is watched over by nightmarish creatures, distorted specters torn away from time itself. I survived long enough to gaze into the Tesseract. Inside Eben's heart, I have seen the face of truth. Our ideals are pathetic, our dreams are abject. The knowledge and progress we have pursued for so long are but chimeras leading us to absolute terror. The future is dead and its ghosts reign over us. Everything is red. So it seems that the last one is, or was, in a very similar situation to our character. But we are here. We will take this portal back, which I would imagine would lead us very close to the exit. No. Bhakti is still here. Let's see if she has anything new to say. Nope. Okay. There is an item over there that I would like to get. I guess we're done. Sigil of Ether. So, let's take the elevator back down. Was it here? I think it was. Yep. And we'll take the portal back to where that big door was. Yep, it's this one. And I'm really hoping that we can actually open the door this time. Because the video has been going on for quite a while now, and I just want to get to Devish, hopefully, and call it for now. Oh. Alright, well, that answers my question. For some reason, the game doesn't let me ride my mount on this terrain. To what? What did it say? Devish, I guess. Yeah, it should be Devish. Oh. Well, the game is extremely laggy. I'm dropping frames. And I have a 3080. So if the game is tanking, it is definitely not my computer's fault. Anyway, we will call it for now, and next episode we will see what the Strange Sphere has to say, as well as continue our path here, and hopefully this will be the last dungeon, or the last temple. Again, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.